My understanding is that it's an alternative form to disabled. It's a newer term, it's a more good term, it's a more up-to-date term. It's a more positive term than disabled. It's a newer term in the terminology of disableism. I find it's not many people use it though. But I do feel that it is a more positive term, more constructive term, that should come into the rhetoric quite quickly. They tend to be seen as not a disability. Mental illness is not seen as a disability and therefore is not part of the disability arena. Mental illness is seen as something else, as something separate. And that's why I like the term psychosocial disability, because it tells you that it is a disability and that people can get disabled by having a mental illness. When people think of disability, they tend to think of the physical disabilities primarily, and then the sensory disabilities, but not the psychosocial or hidden disabilities. It can be very disabling. People don't get up in the morning, they're not able to work, they're not able to study, they're not able to concentrate, they're not able to focus. And all those aspects are disabling. So they need to be made aware that having a mental illness makes you disabled, but not in the sense that we tend to think of disabled in general terms when it comes to physical and sensory disability. It does disable you as a person if you have severe mental illness. You cannot work, you cannot function, you cannot have relationships, you cannot have good times, you cannot do whatever. And that's all disabling. But more on a subtle kind of, on a very kind of low-key perspective.
Yeah.
I think people need to talk about it as a disability and not shy away from it and kind of keep it under the carpet and keep it under the mat, because that's not doing it any favors. I think people need to be open about their psychosocial disabilities and talk about it as if it was a physical disability or sensory disability. And they mustn't mask it, they mustn't hide it, they mustn't make it invisible. I think the most powerful is to have someone with a psychosocial disability go out and say, this is the situation, rather than their doctor coming in or their psychologist coming in or their psychiatrist coming in. It has more power, in my opinion, if it comes from the service user. I think you're talking about the elite few that are having access to psychology and mental intervention, and you're forgetting about the majority of the population who are impoverished, who are living in rural areas and don't have access to psychiatry or psychology. I think you also have to open up and look at it wider than the biomedical model. You've got to look at alternative intervention schemes such as the friendship bench. So I think it's very, very narrow, very, very focused, and very unique to a certain clientele in South Africa. And I think it has to be opened up to include the wider communities in South Africa. I think it's too elitist at this point.